guy? Probably not. Right? Let's look at another line. Let's focus on some of the parts where it talks about where he gets mad at Fran. Are you listening to me? Because it looks like you'd rather be somewhere else. If that's the case, there's the door. Now it's obvious he's upset when he says this. But why? Oh. Why? Oh, he's upset because Fran looks somewhere else. Or Fran, make this easier for you. Fran stops paying attention. I'm saying that because I actually wrote that in the script. So that's what happens in the scene. Excuse me. She looks away as if to stop paying attention. Okay, so that's the foreground. That's what initially is being shown here. So Fran is noticing something in the distance and her attention is taken away. Are you listening to me? Because it looks like you'd rather be somewhere else. And if that's the case, there's the door. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Because it looks like you'd rather be somewhere else. And if that's the case, there's the door. Are you listening to me? Because it looks like you'd rather be somewhere else. And if that's the case, there's the door. Interesting, hey? Are you listening to me? How many times, who, and how many times, who, and how many times has Mark said this line to random people, if any, while he was being molested? Interesting thing to think, eh? So here he is saying it to Fran, because she wasn't paying attention. This is what we call a nerve. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? My dad just fucking fucked me up the ass. Or like blah 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 blah. Are you listening to me? My dad just molested me 15 times in the last week. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Interesting thing to work on for this one, hey? That is a huge, huge line in the context of this whole script. Are you listening to me? And then look at the next one. Because it looks like you'd rather be somewhere else. You want to make this line powerful? Who in Mark's life told Mark he's lying about abuse? Who in Mark's life told Mark he's lying about the abuse? Are you listening to me? Because it looks like you'd rather be somewhere else. I think, personally, Mark would have said this line to Fran no matter what. Even if she stopped paying anything that Fran did that was not attentive to Mark at this time during this interview, he would have said this line. Why? Because he has said this line to almost every authority figure in his whole entire life. Family, doctors, friends, teachers. This is probably one of his most powerful lines in this whole script. This is what would land you the audition. This line right here. In every script you have, you're going to find lines where they seem like nothing. They seem just like character lines. But this character says this for a reason. Because he said it all the time. And no one has ever listened to him. Or else why would he still be molested? And why would he be working on the street? No one listened, and because of that, they all would rather be somewhere else. How does that make Mark feel? Yet another person, this health nurse that came here specifically to talk to Mark, is now doing what everybody else has done. Not listening, and wants to be somewhere else. How do you think that makes Mark feel as a character, as a person?